Hello, everyone. It's Jeb Hamburger from GoldStockTrades.com. It's Friday, October 16th. We're heading into the second half of the trading day, into the afternoon. Wanted to give a quick update. First, we got to take a look at gold because, no matter what the great results that these juniors are delivering, when you're in consolidation mode versus re-rating mode, in June, July, we were in re-rating mode. We saw a huge 400, almost a few hundred-point gain in the price of gold. And that's why you saw so much momentum when these companies put out drilling results, like we saw with Free Gold and Roscan earlier this year and Outcrop. But since August, September, and October, and since the stimulus back and forth negotiations, gold has been consolidating. It may have been expected that there was going to be a much bigger stimulus, and there's been a correction consolidation while the politicians in Washington have been debating about this stimulus. I thought last Friday we had a nice high volume breakout that we could be breaking out of this downtrend line, but this week we didn't see the follow through that I was expecting from last Friday. So we're still continuing now into almost our third month. Will be 3 months of this gold correction, and we're hoping that we could see signs of a reversal and regaining of the 50-day moving average. But right now, one thing is that we have seen some bullish momentum beginning for the first time, that the selling may be exacerbated, and that we're at a point now we are ready to make the second leg higher, but technically we have not yet broken out yet with regards to this recent 3-month consolidation. I'd really like to see the upper resistance here line broken to the upside and a regaining of the 50-day moving average. Until then, short term, we may drift lower to this as a 200-day plays catch-up here. Remember, the 200-day moving average acts as a magnet. We are way above the 200-day moving average, which indicates that there may be some sort of correction along the uptrend. And we've gotten that. So the 200-day is slowly rising higher. The gold market is continuing to consolidate, which is really healthy for the long-term trend in gold. If we were just continuing to go parabolic like this, that would mean that we are reaching a major top. But this is indicating, this consolidation, that we have a long way to run in the gold price. And if you notice here, this 175 is almost a 50% Fibonacci retracement of that move from around 157.50 to 195. So here is about a 50% retracement. We could even do a 61% retracement. So we're still in consolidation mode in regards to the gold price. We have not broken out yet. I was hoping to see that this week, but it's Friday already, 1 o'clock, and those hopes have been dwindling. And we may be continuing this consolidation all the way until the U.S. election, or until the stimulus is resolved. So that's what's going on in the gold market for right now. And it looks pretty much the same with silver. Here we saw when silver reached its max, it was $27, and the 200-day moving average was around $16 at the time. So there was an overbought reading here. And we've been consolidating now since early August. And the 50% Fibonacci retracement of that move from $14 to $27, about $13, so about $6.50. So that was around right here, $20.50 mark. So we hit that and bounced off that, the trend support. And but we're still in consolidation mode. We have not broken out of this pattern yet in the silver, but we're expecting that that could happen possibly, after the election. But what is positive is that we've had a bullish MACD crossover last week. I was hoping that we would see some continued upward movement, but it's been more sideways this week. But the momentum has gotten positive for the first time since this whole consolidation. So there is potential that we could break out of this downtrend resistance, this correction sooner, and that momentum could be building, and which could be eventually seen after the U.S. election, or if they come to some stimulus agreement in the next couple of weeks. But again, like gold, we're almost now August, September, October, 3 months of consolidation after that May, June, and July breakout move in precious metals. The sentiment has come back to negative for precious metals. So we are could be on the verge of our next up leg and reversal higher. We are not there yet. I'll keep you posted on that. But there's been some really good, significant news in our sector and with some of our featured companies, which we'll be highlighting today. Just wanted to highlight Newfound Gold NFG on the TSX Venture. It's a top pick by Eric Sprott, and Rob McEwen is a big shareholder. They hit an intercept recently of over 40 grams per ton gold over 4.7 meters and 25 grams per ton gold over 5 meters. So these are some impressive results from Newfoundland. It's called Newfound Gold. It's a top IPO in the junior mining sector. The first hole hits. They got 100,000 meters more to go, so there's going to be a lot of drilling news here. And it looks like it has a strong uptrend and may be a little bit overbought, but it continues on a great uptrend, strong treasury. They're also following up on the intercept they hit, 19 meters of 92.9 grams per ton gold. This is only 96 meters depth, so it's pretty shallow. And from what I hear is they're on their way to get a New York Stock Exchange listing. So it's already a $3.34 stock. It hit a high of $3.80, and they're hitting some great results. I expect a lot more to come, a lot more news to come. They're one of the most aggressive drillers in that Newfoundland jurisdiction. I'd like to highlight Radisson Mining, RDS, on the TSX Venture, which came out with news this week. I've been highlighting Radisson all year. These geos have come up with an excellent geological model, and they appear to be hitting. I've done some recent interviews with Radisson this year. And the more you look at the picture on Radisson, the more you see that the economic potential here, and they recently hit results here, I believe it was this week, of hitting some really high-grade gold intersections at depth here. And it's beginning to get some traction, I believe, with the majors because it's showing connection and continuity at depth. So, backed by Rob McEwen, David Garofalo, who is Goldcorp's CEO, has recently taken an investment. Also, Michael Gentile, who's a famous fund manager, is taking a significant investment. So this is one that I've highlighted all year, and it appears that they are hitting. There's going to be more drilling coming out, lots of visual gold. High-grade gold in Quebec, Val-d'Or, Radisson Mining, RDS on the TSX Venture. I want to briefly highlight a company that I've been following for a couple of years in Nevada, New Range Gold. They hit some really nice results, but no one's talking about it. Very little marketing or promotion. Warrants are expiring next week, so that might be one of the reasons why it's beaten down. They hit 9.15 meters of 14.85 grams per ton. So that's a good intersection, a good thickness of that grade in Nevada along the Walker Lane. When you see companies like Bullfrog Gold coming into with tons of cash and capital, when you have those sort of results, that should really drive the market. But we're still in this gold correction. This company, the management here is not the most promotional, and they do not spend any money on marketing, and that's why the stock kind of had that one day, and may be sort of consolidating before the warrants expire, which I think they expire either this week or next. So New Range Gold in Nevada has been added to the list because those results are again good, and I've been waiting for a while for them to drill those sort of high grade gold results like Klondex or the high grade gold mines in that area. So they've hit again. Warrants are expiring. This is back on the radar. New Range Gold NRG on the TSX Venture. I'd like to quickly highlight Aztec Minerals, which also has warrants expiring next week. So there's might be a little bit of selling here to exercise their warrants for shareholders. So that's why the stock's weak. But they've been hitting some great results. When you look at some of these other results of heap leach gold projects in the USA, and grades aren't as good as this, and they have much higher market caps. So Aztec, I think, is a heap leach gold project in Arizona, drilling the Tombstone district, and they're drilling some great heap leach grades in Arizona, and it has corrected because of possibly this warrants expiring. And another thing is that you have the Taylor deposit nearby, and that was a deposit that was ignored for a while, and with modern exploration methods, they turned that into $1 billion company. This is the nearest district, and you have some great explorers working on this company. So I would keep my eye on this, especially warrants I think are expiring by next Wednesday. Should a little bit of overhang should be ended by then. And I know that they're drilling away and they're doing a lot of work there, so we should have some more news on Aztec Minerals, ACT. And remember, the chairman's also runs Endeavor Silver, which is a major silver producing company. So some really good people behind this and a great project in the USA. I recently added Aquila Resources. The symbol is AQA on the TSX on the Toronto Stock Exchange. It also can be traded on the OTCQB as AQARF. It's developing this Back 40 flagship project in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They've invested over $95 million invested to date. The market cap is still pretty much below $50 million. It's backed by some of the mining industry's top shareholders, including Orion Mine Finance, who has been behind Victoria Gold that's recently come into production. They also recently took out Dalradian. Orion Mine Finance, Cisco Gold Royalties is behind this. This is an extremely high quality project in a top tier jurisdiction. They reacquired this property from Hudbay in 2014. They recently announced a PEA with the underground expansion, and this PEA showed some very significant numbers. NPV after tax of $316 million. The mine life increased from 7 to 12 years. They were able to reduce the capex. They just brought on a top mining engineer to take this through to feasibility and to make a construction decision. But this is extremely high-grade project. Look at this M&I grade of 4.3 grams per ton gold equivalent, inferred grade. A lot of investors have been asking me, which could be near-term producers in the USA, and especially that are sizable. And if you look here at this Aquila, which many people don't know about, it has extremely high grade, some really good economics from the slash PEA, but even better, this is open at depth. The deposit's open at depth, and they've already drilled 130,000 meters, and they're going to be planning an expansion here and a connection of the different zones here. So put Aquila on your radar, and that will be concluding for today. We mentioned some really good stocks and companies that have come out with some good drilling news. Gold and silver are still in consolidation mode. It may last this week. It may last to the U.S. election, or possibly a couple of weeks after the U.S. election until the next major stimulus announced. But I'm expecting new highs in gold and silver by December, by the end of 2020, and new highs for a lot of the junior miners in the next leg higher, which is going to be much more powerful, we expect, than the May, June, July rally. So that's it for today. Stay tuned, stay patient. Tough business mining. It's not always going to be roses and up like it was in May, June, and July. But the trend continues higher, and we continue to grind away at it. Stay tuned. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.